red circle around what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Yeah. Pictures are easy, right?
Yeah.
Well, now I feel like I've been to your book party and
Yeah, we
heard your music.
Voice, Amy Winehouse.
We could show you. Okay, here we'll show you some of our songs we picked out. Okay, this is a good one.
I know that's great right here.
It sounds like you're doing a rave instead of a book party.
Do you want to see another song we've got?
Sure.
Okay. This is Letters to Cleo, Cruel to Be Kind.
It's a classic.
Where's your party going to be? You know?
We're having a party. It's right near my house at this place called Acme. It's a photo studio place that it's like a prop house. So it's this huge warehouse that has all these crazy,
like taxidermed animals.
and like just the weirdest props you'll ever find. You'll find like a shark costume.
Yeah,
like
they have a donkey
pig head.
costume.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we thought like, because we're going to put like a lot of like pink balloons everywhere and like, I don't know, we're going to make it really,
contrast will be funny.
Yeah.
I think.
And because
like
our
girly, like frilly stuff and then like dead animals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to it.
not like for killing animals though. Like
No.
Angela was actually like,
I was surprised that you picked it.
yeah, she was like, I'm surprised that you're okay with having this book party here because I'm very much against the murder of animals
As am I.
without cause.
Right.
Mhm.
But I don't know. The places, I feel like they're like vintage
They're very
taxidermy,
old.
so maybe it's okay. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it was like to take care of like overpopulation or something.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
You should just hold a rave instead of a book party. Just have it like go all night, give people eat, glow sticks.
That's not a bad. That could still happen.
We could just add some glow sticks.
Yeah.
We are kind of making our we're working really hard on the playlist. So
Yeah.
it is, music is a big part of our party.
Yeah. Well, if you're thinking that much about the music, I can tell you it's already going to be like 99% more successful than most writers' book parties because I've been to them.
So it's been fun. We are putting together a list. Do you want to come? Are you going to be in New York December 8th?
I might. I know I'm going to go for the National Book Awards November 18th.
Oh,
So,
maybe
I,
not
like,
10 days early. Then you can come to our party.
Yeah.
yeah. Nice.
Okay,
So
we'll
tell me,
make sure we send you an invite.
Yeah. If you give us
Yeah.
your email, we can at least send you an invite.
yeah, please do. Yeah. So, how did you all meet and start doing comedy together?
Yeah, we met at this theater called the People's Improv Theater, which is, it was started by one of the founders that, UCB is a theater in New York that a lot of people know a little bit better, but so the founder of the People's Improv Theater started at UCB and then opened the Pit, and we were both taking a sketch writing class together. We met in sketch writing class.
It was kind of both of our first forays into comedy, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of, yeah.
And we were fans of each other's work.
Yeah. Well, we both like were at different ends of the spectrum when it came to dating at the time in our lives. So I, for the first time, found myself in my first long-term relationship.
And yeah, I was going through the longest patch of being single of my life and dating in New York and using OkCupid and Tinder and whatever else was available to me. So I think for both of us, that kind of came out in our writing. We were writing what we knew.
Right.
And what we knew was our dating status, our relationship status.
Angela had written this really funny sketch about being a wingman.
Well, like,
and it was like a superhero parody.
Superhero who's like the wingman.
The wingman to like bring on to like help you, like his superhero, like his skill was to like help you hook up with the girl.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was really funny. So then when we decided to write a sketch show together, writing about dating and just was like a natural fit. So we called the show This Is Why You're Single, and then our sketch show kind of took off, and like the New York Times put it in their comedy listings, and then the Wall Street Journal wrote about it. And then everyone was asking, what's next for you guys? And we
were like, what is next?
What's next?
Then we thought about it.
We want to write a book. We want to write a book called, like a comedy book called This Is Why You're Single. And we never attempted to be advice experts by any means, but girls would come up to us after the show and tell us their dating stories, and they would ask us for advice. And And before we realized it, we
somehow like these goofy stories that we would do in our show like struck a chord with people because they are, even though they were all like pretty extreme scenarios,
they're like absurd exaggerations of real life and the things that we go through and the kind of insecurities and misconceptions of what it means to modern date in this time and like what the landscape is right now out there. We kind of like explored that, and it was just really relatable to a lot of women. So we realized that we were giving advice without even meaning to.
Yeah. That's one of the interesting things. Like it's a comedy book, but also I'm guessing it like readers can take it pretty seriously, right?
Yeah. It's in the advice section. So hopefully people will know when we're being sarcastic. And kind of like parodying something.
Yeah, like we have some fun sidebars throughout the book, and some of those are a little tongue in cheek, but I think the tone is obvious. None of it's too serious.
Yeah, no, and I think it's successful in kind of delineating what's the funny part and what's the really advice part. But you know, performing together is different than writing together. So how did you, and there are many writing pairs I know who don't make it. So how did you divide up the writing? Tell me about that process for you all.
So we wrote the sketch show also. We wrote that together. So our experience writing together happened before the book, although the book was a completely different beast.
I started Googling like writing partners before we started writing the book. I was like, how do writing partners
murder each other?
And well, that too. I was like, how do writing partners like write a book together? And like one of the first things that came up was that book, White Girl Problems, which was like a bestseller, and some people love it, some people hate it. I thought it was hilarious. And that was 3 people. Yeah. And they basically said that they picked stories together. They'd meet and they'd kind of outline together, and then they would go off and they would each write a chapter, and then they would all flip the chapters so that everybody had a pass at it. I was like,
works for us.
Works for us. All right, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, because you can't sit and write something and be like every other word. Like, I write this word, you write this sentence.
No way. It would be crazy.
That would be terrible and drive us crazy. So yeah, we would go off into our little holes once we agree. We would outline together.
And we'd like pitch each other ideas, and we would write them all down. We'd be like, this is an idea for a chapter, and like, okay, this is the funny story that I think this could be. What do you think of that idea? And Angela would maybe say like, yes, but what about this? And we would kind of like, when we were making each other laugh, we knew that something was working.
Right.
So once we would kind of pitch each other ideas, make each other laugh in our writing sessions, and kind of like briefly outline it, we would kind of call dibs on a chapter. Yeah. So I would say, hey, I'm really loving the How We Met chapter. I think I'll give that a shot. And then Angela would say like, cool, I've got the man-child chapter.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
I have experience with that.
And then we'd go off for a few days, write the chapter, and then send it to each other. I would do my edits on it and make sure it had my voice. She would do the same for my chapter. And some chapters I would barely change, or she would barely change. Maybe she'd change 2 sentences. Others would be like
totally
reconstructed and rewrite it. And then we would come together a third time and make sure we're okay with each other's changes and like kind of negotiate it. And luckily that process just worked really seamlessly.
Right. Well, I mean, we wrote 30 chapters of the book, so after a while, it just kind of became natural.
It was like,
we were book ninjas.
Like once we wrote a chapter together in 2 hours. That only happened for one chapter.
That was an exception. That was the last chapter we wrote.
Not the last chapter of the book, because the order is kind of different, but
so
it was really fun.
You can call dibs on a chapter, but not a man, as we learned.
We actually joked about that. Yeah, don't call dibs on a human. You can call dibs on writing a chapter of your book.
We have a whole list, as I'm sure you saw, of things you can and cannot call dibs on.
Yeah,
cannot human beings, can
Oreo,
yeah,
side of the Oreo with the frosting on it.
Your dead grandmother's wedding ring.
Yeah, like a magazine, you want to read
at a nail salon.
You can call dibs on that.
So will you do like, I got to interview Elvis Costello a month ago for his he has a new memoir, and he started talking about the events he's going to do, and he said, like if a surgeon writes a book, the surgeon does not go to a bookstore and operate at the bookstore. So will you all sort of perform at your events, or have you thought about how you're going to?
Figuring out, we actually just got asked last week to do a sketch show at a bookstore in, was it in Queens?
In Queens, yeah.
And at first I was like,
Valentine's Day thing.
At first I was like, wait, but like, are they gonna have a sound system? Like, cause we have like sound cues in our sketches, and we have a projector screen that we kind of incorporate into our show. And she's like, no, they have a stage, like. And I was like, you know what, we'll make it work. That'll be really fun. So I think we are gonna do our sketch show.
We're gonna have to like adapt it probably based on the space.
We'll have to pick which sketches can work there.
Yeah, our original sketch show was not like a lot of sketch shows that you see, because we have like sets. I mean, we had like a cardboard cutout that was like life size of a taxi cab,
like an actual size. We would have to like cart to the theater every night. It's like probably one of the most prop heavy sketch shows ever.
Yeah.
So I would call it like
costume changes.
Costume changes for every sketch. I would call it more of like half off Broadway show and like half sketch show kind of merged, which is kind of what worked for our brand, is this very like more polished kind of like very well produced.
Hello, Madonna.
What?
Hello, Madonna.
Yes. Hey. So yeah, I don't know, that worked for like other sketches. Their brand is just like, you can wear all black and it can be really raw, and you imagine imagine the set. But for us, we didn't want the viewers to have to do any work. So if one of our sketches took place at a restaurant, we wanted to be really clear off the bat that this was a restaurant. Was this a Mexican restaurant? Was this an Italian restaurant? And so we would have, if it was an Italian restaurant, we had the like checkered Italian tablecloth and the candle, and like
the waiters wore mustaches.
Right. We want to know. It was a part of the comedy is like, what kind of date did this guy take her on? You know, and fitting that in so that the viewer doesn't have to do any work. They can just focus on the jokes, and their brain isn't having to do any work to get from like A to C.
Yeah. And so, like, do you have a sense of what % of it is based on your own experiences versus what your friends have told you?
It's all based on something.
Yeah, a lot.
Every one of our friends that comes to see the show thinks every sketch is about them.
Which is probably
a good sign, because it means it's very relatable
and universal. We would write the most specific sketch that was about like a super specific story that one friend told us, or like a really specific experience that happened just to me, and then like 20 friends would be like, oh my God, I love that sketch was about me. Like, it wasn't about you at all. So like these issues that you think are specific, what we learned is that they're really universal.
Yeah, and that's happened with the book too, like friends that we've let read our book. You know, like there's a chapter about going out with your friends in packs.
Yes.
And I think every one of our friends
It was definitely about like my group of girlfriends, and your friends surprisingly thought it was about them, right?
Like every girl group does that. Yeah. They all like go out together, and then they kind of overwhelm any like guy at a bar that doesn't want to approach a pack with 5 beautiful girls, 5 or more.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say it's all exaggerated versions of things that happened in our life or things that happened to our friends. When it came to our sketch show, girls would come up to us and be like, please write a sketch about this, or please write a story about this. And then they would tell us the story. They would tell us their dating story, and we'd be like, there's nothing to write. Like, that was just a normal date. I don't know. Yeah. It was funny. People would ask us to write sketches all the time based on their experiences. Sometimes Sometimes they worked, and we were like, oh, that's actually, I can see that working and translating into some like a larger idea. But
I think so. That's the way that Jane Austen wrote.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And you love This Is Why You're Single.
Yeah. Well, what was the movie that's based off of isn't Clueless?
Based on Emma.
Based on Emma, yeah.
Yeah, such a great movie.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite movies ever. So I can see that.
Yeah, I liked your the real ending of the romantic comedies section.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. That was one of the last things that I wrote. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So is there a sequel in the works, or what?
Oh my God, I hope
we have to accumulate more experiences.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was funny because as soon as we finished the last book, we'd all of a sudden have all these ideas for other chapters. So there definitely is. We definitely have materials endless. We like to think of the reasons that you're single are kind of endless, and they're things that girls do wrong, guys do wrong, things that nobody's doing wrong, but they just have to do with what it's like to date now. And those reasons really truly are endless. There's thousands of them. So we could write a sequel, but I guess, I don't know, we'll have to see what happens after December 8th when our book comes out. If people want, hopefully
we'll give the people what they want.
Exactly.
Right. Well, congrats on this.
Yeah, we will give it to them.
Say no to the people.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. I really enjoyed it, and hope to see you at your party.
Yes, please come.
Okay.
We go out with one of our songs that we're gonna play to give you a little. Okay, so which one should we play for him?
Oh, they're all so good.
This is good.
There's
a lot of pressure because we're going out with this. Oh, what about it's just a classic?
I mean, this is predictable perhaps, but
is this too predictable?
Do it.
All right.
All the single ladies, 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 all the single ladies. Now put your hands up in the club, doing my own thing. I'm gonna call him, you're gonna be
Nice.
Thank you for having us on.
Okay. Okay. Have a good night. Okay. Bye.